Hello everyone, I'm Ploetz, and I'm going to take you through Day 2 operations using DataStax Mission Control. Let's go! As you can see here, I am using CQL shell to get out to my cluster. And again, if I use my Stack Overflow keyspace, you can see that I do have tables out there. And, let's say we want to take a look at, like, times. Yep, there's data in there. Select star from, and we can also have a look at the keyword table. So let's have a look at our cluster here. One thing that has always been a recommendation with Cassandra and DataStax Enterprise is in running repairs and making sure that your repairs run to keep your key spaces consistent. And the whole idea there is that your repair should be run about once a week. Some use cases will require more, maybe less, but once a week is usually the recommendation. So if I go up here and I click on the repairs tab, you can see that my repair history is here, having run repairs on both the Stack Overflow and Reaper DB key spaces. What I'm going to do is trigger a repair for the Stack Overflow key space. So let's go ahead and see this Run Repair button. I'm going to click on that. Yes, I want to run this in my Big Box Co cluster. I'm going to run it on the Stack Overflow key space. I am the owner. The rest of this looks pretty good, although, maybe we can double the repair threads out there. I don't really care if it's data center aware or not because, well, I'm only deployed across one data center, but if you have multiple, you may want to consider, some of the other options here. And that's really it. And then I can click Run. And as you can see, my new entry for repairs on the Stack Overflow key space is out there, and this repair job is running. Now, it's probably going to take a little bit to complete, so I'm going to go ahead and pause and then come back once it's completed. All right. Our repair job running on the Stack Overflow key space is just about complete. Looks like it has just one more segment to go. That's the last segment. So the repair job should change its state in just a moment here. Oh, and there we go. Our repair job is done. So, as you can see, it's very, very easy to trigger and monitor repairs inside of Mission Control. So let's assume that we want to expand our 3-node cluster here. Well, the easiest way to do that is to go click the Modify Cluster button. And then as I scroll through all of my cluster settings here, there's this setting of nodes per rack. Now, you can see that for this particular cluster, I have 3 racks named Fernbrook 1, 2, and 3. And at 1 node per rack, that gets me a 3-node cluster. Well, if I just bump this to 2, that should double the size of my cluster. So that should be all I need to do. Let's go ahead and say Modify Cluster. All right. And if I scroll down here, you can see that my 3 new nodes already have their name with, Big Box Co., Maple Grove, Fernbrook, and then either 1, 2, or 3, and then nodes, STS 1 on the end of them as a second node coming in when counting up from 0. And you can see that they're starting. All right. 2 of them have IP addresses, so this is good. Yeah. there's an IP for the last one. So now we ought to start to see the new nodes improving up to a status of running. Oh, and there we go. The first of our 3 new nodes is fully up and running and has joined the cluster. Now, for those of you who may be new to Cassandra, behind the scenes, each node is joining and is receiving its token range assignments, and then is having its share of the data streamed to it. You know, if you recall from one of my earlier videos on creating a cluster, we created our Stack Overflow keyspace with a replication factor of 3. Now, in a 3-node scenario with RF3, each node has 100% of the data. But in a 6-node cluster with an RF of 3, each node has 50% of the available token ranges. The ranges of data are being calculated out, assigned to the new nodes one at a time, and then the data is being streamed. And once that streaming process completes, it should join with a status of running. Oh, there we go. We have 5 nodes up in the cluster. The second of our 3 new nodes has joined. So we are really moving along here. All we have to do is wait for this one last node to finish its bootstrapping and join the cluster. All right, our last node has come up and joined the cluster. Now, if you remember what I said about how each new node gets its share of data that it's responsible for is determined by its token ranges. And the nodes that were previously responsible for those token ranges actually still have the data. So we need to do one last thing that's a part of a cluster expansion. I'm sure those of you who have done this before are familiar with it. We're going to need to run a cleanup operation on all nodes. So I'm going to go ahead and do bulk actions. And look at that. The first one in the list is cleanup. So we're going to pick that one and we're going to run it. All right. The cleanup operation is running. In fact, if I want to track that operation, I can go ahead and click on the Activities tab, and you can see that my cleanup operation is indeed pending. All right, that should do it. For more information on DataStax Mission Control, just head on out to datastax.com/products/mission control. There you can find all the information you need, including downloads and documentation. Thank you and have a great day.